Every project starts with a liquidity pool. In a volatile market, not every pool grows. Saros empowers growth by connecting fragmented pools and projects into one deep source with intentional design. This is the liquidity layer, a foundation for growth momentum, enhancing the entire liquidity flow, nourishing Solana's projects and the future of internet capital markets. Grow together. Grow with Saros. Every project starts with a liquidity pool. In a volatile market, not every pool grows. Saros empowers growth by connecting fragmented pools and projects into one deep source with intentional design. This is the liquidity layer, a foundation for growth momentum, enhancing the entire liquidity flow, nourishing Solana's projects and the future of internet capital markets. Grow together. Grow with Saros.
So hello everyone. So welcome to our very first kickoff live stream for our Build the BOLD hackathon. So first of all, let me introduce a little bit about myself. So my name is Daphne. I will be your host tonight, and I couldn't be more excited to see so many builders here ready to kick things off. So joining me today also have Lido, ecosystem lead at Saros, and also K2, I think he's really familiar with our developer in Vietnam. He is leader of the Superteam Vietnam. Okay, so I believe that if you follow Saros, so we just announced our Build the BOLD hackathon, and we will have two phases. For the first phase, we will getting hands-on with the two SDK bounties, the bug hunt, and also the guide challenge. So these are designed to sharpen your skill, improve our SDK, and also prepare everyone for a really something bigger coming later this year. And before we dive in, I would love to have a quick warm up. So I believe that many people will want to know our speakers today, who you are, your role, and also your Solana journey so far. So let's start with our guest, and K2.
Hello everyone. My name is Hieu, K2. So I'm a country lead of Superteam Vietnam. I guess that you have know what is Superteam Vietnam, right? But let me briefly introduce. We are the talent layer for Solana in Vietnam. And what we try to do is that we have developer to code, we have founder to build new startup, have creator to build content, and especially we want to support teams from Vietnam like Saros to success, and also bring new earning opportunity like the bounty program that you guys to kick off in here to our own developer community in Vietnam. So thank you very much for having me join this. And I'm an engineer as well. So it is my pleasure to join something like this. Thank you.
Yep. It's also our really pleasure to have you joining us today. And last but not least, we also have another speaker, have really cute avatar. So hi, Lido.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Lido. Thanks for the intro. I'm also a developer by day myself, but recently joined Saros as ecosystem lead. A little bit about my experience in Solana is started around 2022. The NFTs on Solana were crazy at the time, and got involved doing some work for projects and kind of never left. Have just been hanging around in the ecosystem since as a developer and just an enjoyer. And I'm excited about this because I think in 2023, I submitted for Grizzlython and Superteam Hackathons. It's a full circle moment for me, so very excited.
Yeah. So it seems like you guys have really rich experience in the space, especially on Solana. And one more thing that you guys have the background from the developer or also like the product team. So I think all the audiences today will learn a lot from you guys. So let me go through the agenda today. So first of all, we will zoom out and talk about why we are here and what Saros is building. Secondly, I think this is the most excited and also expected part is about the SDK bounties. So two speakers here will tell you guys all the tips and also many secret thing behind the button and also the guide challenge. And last but not least, we also hint something about what's coming next. So let's get into it. So for the first question, I want to ask Lido about why. So why Saros is launching Build the BOLD and why now?
Yeah. Well, we want to stay true to Solana, and that starts with builders. So we're just hitting the ground running. Internally, we just recently launched our new DLMM pools as an iteration on top of our original AMM pools. The liquidity ecosystem on Solana is evolving rapidly and it needs more liquidity. So we're hoping to support that with our liquidity layer. But we think it's more than that. There's more than just a front end for LPers. We want to build solid rails for projects, all kinds of DeFi projects to come in and use these pools. And so that starts with the tech. And specifically, that's why we're tackling right away the SDK. So please come use our SDKs and roast it so we can make them better for everyone. That's the goal here.
Yeah, totally get it. So I think actually like Lido has tells some background about our hackathon and also why we want to launch it. So I want to have a question for K2 that as a perspective of for example a participant or a developer community. So what are your expectations when you hear or when you heard about like Saros just launched the Build the BOLD hackathon?
So I think for me, it's a very good chance to do few things in here. So let me explain a little bit my background before Solana. So 2021, I joined blockchain and I joined BNB. And one of the first thing I built is actually the DeFi 2.0. I cloned, I worked for a project and they clone Olympus DAO. If anyone here know Olympus DAO, they bond things and everything. So I briefly have a brief time with BNB and then join Solana as pretty much educator and build some project but fail. I build like on-chain tool or something. However, when I kind of like, it has been a few years looking back in Solana and I realized one thing. Solana DeFi is quite basic in a sense. We have a lot of trading tool, but we don't have a lot of like, let's say, wealth management tool. If you look at Ethereum ecosystems, there's a lot of wealth management tool when people do very complex things like the bond thing that I did in 2021. And people do like wealth management, like rebalancing, delta, neutral, and everything. I don't know why, but maybe because of the background of Ethereum is they've been there for a longer time. They have more TradFi people. But Solana is like newer. We have more retail people. That's why we focus a lot on trading. But when I see Saros, the LMM, and actually something that he's not talking about, but like you guys going to have the perp as well, right? So you have the perp and the DLNM and the AMM at the same time. So I realized that is a chance for people to try build more complex program in, UX can be very simple, Solana way, very simple, but behind the scene, you can do neutral, delta neutral trading strategy. Like for example, like let's say I want to buy something. I don't want to trade. I just want to rebalance my portfolio. So I can have a spot. I can have a pub at the same time to protect my position. Something would be like, I realize there's no easy way for me to do it right now. So I think with Saros DOMN, and actually with Saros already have a launchpad in the past, and you are going to bring a lot of new projects coming to Solana. This is an opportunity for people to do a lot of amazing things. Besides, we have the bounty, right? We learn bug hunting and documentation, a lot of things for people to see, because new project like this will be guys, if you're doing like bug hunting or writing documents, this is opportunity for you to really see what behind the scenes and a lot of interesting things to do. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for your answer. So actually, like this is just the first two things that we want to kick off today. Actually, like a hint for you that we also have other bounties, and not only for the developer, but we also have something for Superteam Vietnam. So just stay tuned on our social channel so we can publish later. Okay, so I think let's come to the most excited, and also I think everyone here is really expecting you guys. We will deep dive into the bug hunt and also the guide challenge bounty. And in each session, I also have some questions to have the audience here to deep dive into the challenge. So let's go first with the bug hunt. So I think I want to ask the question for Kaito, because you guys because you are really experienced. So what types of bugs should participants focus on, or which parts of the SDK are the most important?
Wow, this is a very interesting and, to be honest, very hard question. You bug hunt is kind of like you go around and you try to see HK, right? So I think maybe one of the first thing my advice for people is like looking for HK in the SDK. Like you try to see number overflow, you try to see condition that people normally don't think of. And maybe you try something else. Maybe this is something I just learned recently in Solana as a team. I don't remember, but maybe you could do a research as a team. What they do is that they kind of like, let's say you can clone the SDK, the DOMM program from Saros, from on-chain to the testnet, and you can, because in Solana it behaves in a PDA way. Like you have PDA that keep the memory. And one technique is you just put random number in the PDA and try if it can break the program. So I see it's a new testing technique that Saros team is doing. That's very cool as well. I don't remember the name of SDK to test that, but you can search it on the internet. So I think there's a few ways to do, looking for HK and maybe finding a tool. I think there's a technique called fuzzy test or something. Fuzzy test, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's maybe to advise for you to find bugs.
Yeah, I think it's really like practical advice for everyone here. So how about Lido? Do you have any advice for what types of bug, or what kind of SDK are the most important?
Yeah, we have a couple SDKs out right now. So we have one that supports, as we mentioned, our AMMs, and then farming and staking from Saros Dex. And then we have the new DLMM SDK, which is in Rust for your programs, and then also in TypeScript. And I mentioned those are newer, so there's a higher chance. There's easier, lower hanging fruit, because we did release that more recently. My advice would be take whatever you're familiar with, and thinking ahead, like what you want to build with. So if you plan to interact with the DLMM and want to do a hackathon submission in a few weeks when we kick off, then I would advise like working with the DLMM SDKs, and just, I mean, no better way than just starting to build whatever you had in mind, and just battle testing the SDK. As far as like the guides and docs, I think like Solana has always done a great job with this, specifically like Anza's new documentation around like the Solana kit and their guides. I think this is like the gold standard for like docs right now, especially in Solana. So I personally am looking at their site right now. It's quality inspiration.
Yeah. So for me, actually, like I don't come from the technical background, but actually like from Saros. So I think you guys just need to put into the shoes of Saros or other developer who want to be on top of Saros, and you can think of like what's missing in our SDK for the developers, or what areas that could be improved to enhance the developer experience. So I think you guys can have some technique like Lido and also K2 mentioned. So Lido, I also have a question for you. Like, can you share an example of how even a small bug can be a big impact in DeFi?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just all goes back to just the developer experience and the community. If as a developer myself, if you find it too interesting and you go and check out their docs and it's not fully updated, this is like the first thing that would turn you off to the tool. Maybe you don't think it's supported or it's outdated, so you might not give it a try. We're solving that by pushing these bounties, and the second one is community and support, which we're pushing and trying to grow the new Saros Dev Station, which is that ecosystem. Essentially just being a part of the community, so we know what problems they're having, what issues they're facing, and we can expedite it as fast as possible to really build this like relationship of builders as the consumer, and we're trying to build the best tools for them.
Yeah, I think also good advice. How about and K2? So can you share us like case study or example for the other bounties previously that they identify a really small bug? Actually, like if we cannot identify that, this will happen like in a bad way.
So I think I don't remember any specific like recent bounty, but I can tell you one bug that actually kind of like surfaced in my X timeline for a while. So 2 months ago, maybe a year ago, there was kind of like someone find out a bug in Phantom. So what is the bug? The bug is like, let's say you have a wallet in Phantom, and now I can spam token to you. Especially I can spam CNFT to you. So what happened is that if you spam enough, so actually there's nothing break. I just give you 1,000 token or 2,000 tokens. There's nothing fancy. I mean, like your on-chain program is fine, but then the problem is that if I can spam it enough, then the UI at Phantom just break. That's the big discussion, drama, I can say. People is like, no, this is a small bug. It's just like UI things. But some people argue it's not small, because let's say for normal user, the Phantom UI is everything, and they do want like, for example, like for normal user, if Phantom UI is not working, then for them the world collapse. How can they access their wallet? So this actually in technical term is a very small bug, but in user experience it's huge. So I think if you're working on product, this is something you cannot overlook. Something like UX problem, but it leads to, let's say, the UI not responding. I think this is a huge thing for you to maybe consider.
Yeah, I think this is really important, especially for the user, because they won't know anything happen in the back end, but actually like anything like just a lag, or like they can also the balance of the screen, so it will affect a lot to the user experience. So that's why we also have the bug hunt in our bounty, and I think it's really important to us for enhance the developer experience, and from that we also enhance the customer or user experience. Okay, so I think we can move to the second bounty guide challenge. So I think when we mentioned about the guide challenge, so there are a lot of topics that we can have the developer to have the guide challenge. But I think from the perspective of Saros, so Lido, what topics do you most want to see covered in this bounty?
Yeah, I think it would be really cool to see an actual kind of end-to-end component and walking through that flow. So take something bite-sized. So explore. I would say starting on just head to DLMM Saros and explore around, and then the way I like to start is then downloading the SDK and just pretty much trying to recreate the information somewhere you're seeing on the page. I think that's a great way to start. So, for example, like getting the pool address, and then, okay, now I need to see what tokens are in that pool address, and then fetching the information about those tokens to display, so their symbols and their logos. If you've built Web3 projects, you probably have done this a million times, but it's never going away. So things like that are a good example. That's pretty basic. From there, if you want to do something a bit more complex, I would say definitely start touching the endpoints that fetch like the array bins. That's the actual storage of your position, as well as the liquidity pools. So familiarize yourself with the way the arrays store the liquidity in the bins, and what this actually means. I think our docs also, our intro docs are a great starting point for those concepts. So yeah, to answer your question, depending on your skill set, I would explore the site, find something you're interested in, and then build an end-to-end guide showing actually what this SDK can build, rather than just showing the function call and the types and responses. That would be the gold standard, is these actual quick get started now guides to help these upcoming builders.
Yeah, so I think the audience can note down some of the keywords. Like actually, like it's based on your skill set, but there are some keywords the Lido already told, so it can be considered in our criteria for evaluate the submission. So how about K2? So as a developer, so if you are a developer to participate in this bounty, so what kind of guideline that you want to see?
I think I'm full of say unusual and not very common advice. So what I want to say is, like, please put yourself in the shoes of founder. Look, people who come to build things in Saros, and I mean in blockchain in general, sometimes they are not developer. They would look at the docs and they try to build something, especially with AI right now. So look, the people who read your guideline, your use case, maybe not developer anymore. In the past, the docs will be like explain function to do this and that, but now it's not enough anymore, because now the audience can be like founder, actually trader who turned founder. If you read recently, someone from Wormhole has had a very good article, and like now you have a lot of trader, successful trader turned founder, especially in DeFi. So they will come to your website and they will read the website, and they read the document and they try to build something. So please put yourself in their shoes. They want to build something. So maybe you don't like just encyclopedia, like Wikipedia, like every document, every function. Don't do that. Just tell a story. Let's say I want to build this. What is the objectives? What is the outcome? What is the things I have to like think about? Few words about the use case, few words about what founder want to build, and then you explain the process. So I think that will be very helpful, because the audience now can be someone else who using AI to build Saros, build application upon Saros tech stack. And maybe you can even be more creative, like you can give Saros not a document. You give Saros an AI agent. Like, now I give you an AI agent. Just talk to the AI agent. Now you have an use case to be whatever you want. Things like that. I think be more creative, and I think Saros will be more appreciated if you have creative use case like that. Because look, because like in Superteam Vietnam, we have so many people coming try to do what is that vibe code, and they try to vibe code all the stuff with all the SDK. And if you kind of like target that audience, it will have Saros expand the user base. Because look, I can use AI now to do all the document of the API, just few words, and it is be done. So I don't think Saros is looking for someone just to redo the thing that they can do with ChatGPT in few minutes. So they really want to looking for someone who can turn those API into story, turn those API into use case, and show people how to think in a Saros way. I mean, there will be different technology enable different applications. So really understand Saros way and show people what is the strength of Saros and how to build that thing. I think storytelling in here will be more important.
Yeah, so I think like as a perspective of people who always work for a business side, so I think that this is the first time when I hear about something really technical about developer, but also they also need to have a storytelling skill into the guideline, a technical guideline. So I think this is really worth it when many people can apply the first principle into your submission. Okay, and one more questions for K2 is what so beside the storytelling skill, what makes and the creativity, so what makes a great developer guy stand out?
Sorry, can you repeat?
So beside the creativity and also the storytelling skill, so what are other factors that you think that a great developer guy stand out?
I think this is a hard question. I'm going to throw at Lido. Don't know if you like it or not. Like for me, every technology exists for a reason because there's no engineering solution can solve everything. Everyone have to make trade-off somewhere. I really want to see you guys tell people, or maybe people like look at your SDK and see where is your trade-off. This is something like take a lot of time to look deep into that. I look at Saros for like a while, but I didn't find out that. So maybe tell people what is your trade-off, what is the best use case for you, the best use case that you can serve, and what is not really good. So I think be honest about that will be good, and maybe someone who find that out and let people know will be. I mean that's will be great. Look for Solana, if you build because Solana run thing in parallel. So if you build all the books, that's going to be amazing, like DOMM. But if you build things that is stuck in the same memory and people have to queue to all the transactions have to queue for that same memory to chain, that's a bad thing. That just be like, I think really understand what is Saros, what is the trade-off of Saros, and compare Saros to other DOMM like Metera and Radium. All kind like what is the difference I think will be a very important factor as well. It's so that you really understand. And I think people who understand that level will be eligible for Saros team to invite into the core teams. That will be another perk as well.
Yeah, Lido, I
Yeah.
think you can continue. Yeah.
Yeah. So you pretty much exactly what K2 is saying is kind of what we're working on right now. So in a couple weeks, we'll launch our dev workshop series where I'm actually going to be walking through live coding examples of exactly this. So I've set up a few smaller prototypes and we're recording the videos now. So that's exactly where we're heading as well. Actually showing how the SDK data can power actual useful information, even if it's just like analytics and insights into the pool. That's not there today. There's still a ton to be built, in my opinion. And then taking it one step further is like, like integrating Saros into the liquidity landscape that's already existent. So how are these pools comparing to similar DLMM pools, say on Meteora? And maybe why are they performing different and what's causing that performance? And is it an advantage or is it actually holding us back? Those will help point out obvious and huge wins for both us and builders.
Yeah. And one thing I can see that actually like when we publish the first two bounties, we can see the correlation. For example, if you want to participate in the guideline and in the process of drafting the guideline, if you encounter any bug related to SDK, so you can also join into the SDK bug hunter. So I think you guys can submit into two bounties at the same time, and it will contribute a lot to our Saros SDK. And we tell a lot about like what kind of factor that can have the submission to be stand out. But I think we can talk more about like some common mistakes that many people will make when writing the guides. So I think let's start first with Lido.
Sorry, could you repeat? I was looking at these
We
questions.
will talk about like the common mistake that people usually make when writing the guides.
Oh, right. I mean, just to reiterate, K2's point, like, we know AI is there. We could use it too. We're looking for the genuine experience. Like, if you run into an issue, please write about it, because that's really going to help us. We're not looking for like just basic template docs. Ideally, it's you used a guide just reviewing what you built. So I tried the SDK. I wanted to make this. I ran into these issues. Here's how I worked around them, and here's what I think would make it better. That will greatly help us improve the SDK for the needs, especially if we're seeing multiple submissions around the same pain points. We know to prioritize that.
How about anh Keisu? I think you will have really great insights here.
No, I mean the common mistake is actually what Lido said already. I like AI is like everywhere, right? Every time that we have a writing bounty, we will see people using AI. That is great, but we do want to see like you really use the product and you really see the problem yourself, and then you can use AI to rephrase whatever you see and how you want to like how you want to like write it into a real submission. So using AI is great. Do not please use AI, but AI should be your companion to make your writing better, not the one that dictate what you should write.
Yeah. So AI is also a really controversial topic recently, especially in many aspects related to the intellectual bounty. So I think you guys can consider AI as the companion, like K2 just told us. And I think I also have one question before we move to the Q&A, because I saw a lot of questions from the audience out there. Okay, so I think we are teasing that we also had a phase 2. So Lido, can you have the audience here have some hint about the phase 2 of BUIDL the BOLD?
Yep. So as I mentioned earlier, phase 2 will launch with the Dev Workshop series, and it's going to build upon these guides and bug bounties. So internally, we'll be aggregating that feedback and preparing it for the upcoming hackathon, as well as working on the SDK improvements. At the same time, we're going to launch the developer workshop. So we'll be building hands-on prototypes together with me. Hope you guys all join then. And then there will be an additional bounty for you to explore your own prototypes and integrations. You can think of it as like a little warm-up for the upcoming hackathon. So it's kind of setting you up to start exploring ideas that you may like. I'd recommend using it as a time to try and validate your idea. So if you have a couple of ideas, this is a great time to build one of them out and get rewarded for it. And then at the time, at the start of the hackathon, you can decide if that's what you want to continue building or if you wanted to pivot. That's how I would approach the next bounties. And then the other one is, as you mentioned, will be we want to include, of course, we want to include all the non-technical folks as well. So it will be more content focused. And yeah, we invite everybody to join us. The big thing is join us now, and it's like it'll pay dividends. You'll be here and familiar with the SDK. You'll be familiar with us, and then we can help you succeed in the hackathon.
Right. So I think we will come to the Q&A session because I saw a lot of questions in the chat box on X and also YouTube. So let's come to the first question. The question will be about the bribe pool be distributed across different bounty categories. So I think we will have a team. So she will send you guys on a link for the bounty, and on the link we also mention about the price. For example, for the SDK bug hunt, so we have 105,000 USDC in total price, and we will have 5 prize with 200 US dollar each. For the high impact import, and the rest will be for the minor or the average bulk with 100 US dollar for each one. And for the second bounty, it will be about the guideline. So we also have the total pool of like 105,000 US dollar. And we also had the first prize at 300, second prize at 250, third prize at 200, fourth at 150, and on from the fifth and 10th position, we'll have 100 each. So I think you guys will have all the information in the link on Superteam Earn. And
I just want to call out quick that so these bounties we just launched them at the start of this week, and we'll keep them going for 2 more weeks. So we've shout out to the people who've already submitted. Pretty crazy. Some good submissions already coming through, which is awesome. But there's still a lot of time. Still have 2 weeks, so you can still join now.
yeah, and we also disclose on the timeline for the bounty subscription deadline and also the charging period and reward distribution that I think you guys can access into the link to see it. I will pick some of the questions that we haven't answered for the previous part. Some question like some question about like what are the specific direction or outcome in the Saros team that we hope the builders to focus that we already answered. So you guys can just need to reply the live streaming today to hear it again. So one more question about where can participants find developer resources such as APIs, SDKs, or documentation? Lido.
Yep. So our docs site is the central place for this. Docs.saros.xyz. But the goal of these is the makeover for the docs. So these will be changing over the next few weeks. I would say make sure you're following us on Twitter, and then again in the links there'll be a link to the community developer community Telegram. That's definitely the #1 spot to stay up to date on all the bounties and the announcements for the winners, as well as all details for the upcoming hackathon.
Yeah. And by the way, can you also tell the audience about like they want to join the bounty and also the hackathon in phase 2 as well? And do I have to be selected for the phase 2?
Yeah, so think of it as just like an encouragement. If you're on the fence, it's a good way to just try it out. The bounty bounty submission is not like this whole 4-week sprint. You really just if you're interested in Saros or learning more, you should just give it a try. And if you're still interested after the bounty submission, then you can roll over and join us in the hackathon. That's kind of the why we set it up like this is it's just a lower barrier of entry. Come see if you're interested. Come see if you're enjoying the community, and then stay with us and build.
Yep. And I think they also asked about like you also hint about like we will have the prototype bounty in the next phase. So someone will ask about like do they need to submit on the project code or just a demo video for the bounty?
For the prototypes will require the code submission. We will allow demos as well, but ideally we're looking for submissions with the code base here. And again, as I mentioned, we'll be doing the dev workshops, and I think those will be giving you a solid idea of kind of the things we're thinking about and have in mind. And then when we announce the hackathon, we'll actually have we'll have a ton of resources available for you, but it'll be organized into tracks to kind of help you guide your ideas and decide where you want to build. So I think the workshop series will give a good example of prototypes, and help you through that prototype bounty. And then for the hackathon, we'll have a repository of examples and help starter repos, and then the defined tracks for you to enter.
Yeah, and one more question about the super team earn and K2. So can non-developer like designer, product managers, marketer also participate in certain bounty tracks?
Oh man, this is a very good question because we have vibe coding. We have like people from all walk of life try to become a developer because now with AI become easier. I don't say it's make like your life to production easier, but if you are someone with creative mind, designer, product manager, and marketers, then I think you really have a really good shot, at least on the bounty side, on the on the um, on the guideline. You have really good shot on that. So yeah, I think everybody's welcome. And actually AI give you an edge now. Think about it, developer actually would have a hard time compete with you with storytelling and do something very creative. So come for it.
Yeah, and also the question also about like I have the idea, but I don't know how to develop the code. So can I participate?
Maybe we should add a vibe coding to the final dev workshop
Yes.
session.
I think like put it this way. I'm a developer. At the beginning I really hate like vibe coding. What is that? It's kind of like insult to my profession. But I realize that for a very long time the people who have the idea have to wait for some developer to implement the idea, and sometimes they implement it in the wrong way. But now you have AI, so you can produce a prototype very quick, and then later on you can find a developer and scale it. So yeah, vibe coding session is a really good idea, Lido, and ask more people to try to build innovative solution with your SDK.
Yeah. And I think they also questions about like if they can collaborate together to build something. I think it's really good, especially in Web3 that we don't have any like geographical distance. So I think if you guys just have the idea and you can form into the team and you can submit to the bounty, I think it's good. And let's see other questions. I think it's a lot. Let me wait for me. Yeah, so for the guideline challenge, so what kind of format will be referred to be qualified? Like video, document, or GitHub pull, something?
Yeah, I also see another question. Are threads, 2-minute videos, infos, and step-by-step guides all valid for submission? Any length or limits? Yeah, these are all valid. I would say for the guides, unless you're kind of showing your coding process, it's probably easier to deliver those with infographics and text, probably in like a blog format. If you're more of a video creator, I would say stick around for our next the next bounty. We'll be posting. One of them will be for videos, specifically video content, and we're looking for more content for X, so threads there. But again, feel free to submit to both.
Okay. And one more question that will be for K2. Like, if you have any examples of crypto projects that have actually been successfully launched through Hackathon, could you please introduce them to me?
Yeah.
I think check out Coliseum's website. There's a lot of success stories.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, like I talked to a lot of people from Superteam Vietnam, and I saw a lot of projects that they received really big support from Superteam Vietnam, and they also come from the hackathon, and currently they are building and they have become one of the most like popular project in Web3, especially on Solana, and not only in Superteam Vietnam but also in the Superteam squad around the world. And one more question about the reward. So beside the money, any extra benefits for winners like mentorship, networking, or potential funding opportunities, Lido?
Yep. So most certainly for the hackathon, we're finalizing some of these details now, but that's the goal. So the top projects out of the hackathon will have this opportunity to be invited to continue building closely with Saros, and we hope you do.
Okay, so please pay attention to our phase 2 that we will have the hackathon. So I think that the first phase will be only about the bounty, but it all prepare for the phase 2 when you guys will have more space, have more reward, and also other extra benefits to join us in the hackathon. So just stay tuned and we will announce in the next few days. And also one more question about the hackathon, like, will there be a demo day or showcase for the hackathon projects? It would be great to see what everyone builds.
Yep, we will have a demo day, and then we will showcase, of course, on the website for the hackathon, and then we are looking to do some in-person events, I believe, in Vietnam. So again, stick around for all the upcoming announcements there.
Yeah. Okay, so I think those are some of the key questions. So actually, like, if you guys want to have more questions, you just need to ask our support team, or you can join to our Saros developer station. So we will have the admin team here to answer all of your questions. Okay, so I think 50 minutes. I think it's really short, but you guys have provided to the audience a lot of insight and also really useful tip to conquer the bounty. So I think I will follow up with some takeaway for this section. So to K2, so if participants remember just one thing from today, what should it be?
Use AI creatively.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing.
Yeah, really sharp.
This
Actually,
is
like
good life advice.
Yeah.
I mean,
How about
I
you,
cannot
Lido?
survive one day with ChatGPT now. So
Yeah, me too. But it really important on the way we use it. How about you, Lido? What should
Build
we remember?
early and build fast and break things.
Yeah.
It's the best way to learn.
I think you guys can bring your quote.
And that's kind of well how we got to phase 1. Why wait for the hackathon? Let's just get to it. And that's what we're doing. So join us.
Yeah. And so the last but not least question, that any final words of encouragement for builders to join us?
oh, I think that would be like, guys, this is a new product they are launching, so a lot of bugs. Believe me, any new product there will be a lot of bugs. I'm in actually
Really to the point, yeah.
yeah, I'm in the so it's raining outside. I'm in the game villa right now with a team, and they build a game, and we're supposed to stream today. But then it's just break. So see, that's how engineer it is. So will be a lot of bugs in here, a lot of bounty opportunity. And if you find something really serious and you don't think the price like enough for the serious of that bug, just contact the team. I think they will be very generous for you.
Totally.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
How about you, Lido?
Yeah, just get in there, get poking around. The DLMM, as I mentioned, is very new, as well as the SDK. So there may or may not be some opportunities there compared to our older SDK. But yeah, just get building and poking around. You'll learn, and we'll learn, and we can improve the product.
Yeah, I think really insightful. Like, we learn from you and you learn from us. Okay, so I think this is also the end of the kickoff live stream today. So I would love to thank K2 and also Lido for being here today, for spending time with us. I hope that the audiences will learn a lot from the live stream today. And so I want you guys to say goodbye to the audience and hope to see you guys in another workshop.
Yeah. Goodbye. And we have a tradition to say see you on Solana.
Oh, yeah, see you on Solana and Saros.
see you on Solana, and join us in the dev station.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Every project starts with a liquidity pool. In a volatile market, not every pool grows. Saros empowers growth by connecting fragmented pools and projects into one deep source with intentional design. This is the liquidity layer, a foundation for growth momentum, enhancing the entire liquidity flow, nourishing Solana's projects and the future of internet capital markets. Grow together. Grow with Saros.